Hello and welcome, I'm your host KB and you're watching the Retrospective. The Little Shop of Horrors property has an interesting history. The first film from 1960 was directed by Roger Corman and guest starred young Jack Nicholson.
Well, as you can see, I have a customer now, and I'm all booked up for the rest of the day, so you'll have to come back tomorrow.
Oh, I couldn't do that. I have 3 or 4 abscesses, a touch of pyorrhea, 9 or 10 cavities, I lost my pivot tooth, and I'm in terrible pain.
Well, I can't help you today.
Oh, that's all right. I'll just wait outside.
The property was turned into a live musical production in 1982, and the musical was then retooled and turned into the 1986 film Little Shop of Horrors, which was directed by Frank Oz. The film's wacky storyline, its great visuals and music, along with an all-star cast which features names like Rick Moranis and Bill Murray, make the film a real treat to watch.
Where did you get such a weird plan?
I remember really enjoying the film as a kid, even though the dark humor and horror elements may have been a bit mature for me at the time. But my mum was and still is a big fan of the movie, so we watched it several times during my childhood. While the 1986 film is the most memorable and nostalgic for me, I also have memories of the short-lived 1991 animated series, which was simply titled Little Shop.
Little shop, little shop. Take me to the little shop, little shop. I wanna go to the shop, little shop, little shop. Take me to the little shop.
The show was a co-production between Marvel, Saban, and Fox, and while it's well produced, the idea to adapt this source material into a show aimed for children seems like a bit of a head-scratcher. The plot revolves around a young Seymour Krelborn who's working in Mr. Mushnick's flower shop and is joined by the talking Venus flytrap named Junior. Junior, no longer the human-eating terror that he was in the films, acts more as a companion to Seymour as Seymour faces the turmoils of young adolescence while also trying to avoid the neighborhood bully named Pain Driller.
Come on, Krelborn, pay up. I don't have any money.
While the storylines and voice acting don't particularly stand out here, the show visually was quite different, at least for the time. The character designs were quite quirky, and the backdrops were very colourful and somewhat abstract with the way that the colours seemed to be splashed around. It retains some of the musical elements from the stage show and the 1986 film, including musical segments that feature the Flowers singing and Junior rapping.
Respect, you better come correct. I'm on a mission to put your suckers in check. Too many of you take us for granted. Respect, word, I demand it. We're on the rise to step off. It's time you open your eyes, G. Cause plants like me control your destiny. I've been around too long. How can you question respect? What you want. Respect!
In retrospect, the show definitely is interesting, but I can see why it didn't captivate kids at the time. The memories I have for the show are very vague, so it didn't really make an impression on me, which is probably why it only lasted for 1 season and 13 episodes were produced. No episodes have been released on DVD, and I couldn't find any information to support any previous VHS releases, but there are some episodes available online. While not a great show, I definitely recommend checking it out, at least for curiosity's sake.
Little shop, little shop. Take me to the little shop, little shop. I wanna go to the
little shy.
As always, guys, thanks very much for watching and supporting the show. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode of The Retrospective.